Now we're moving on to the much anticipated interview section of the Open Day. Now, of course, a lot has been happening in West Papua, in Indonesia as well, and around the world. So I think this will be a really fascinating little interview to listen to. So there's probably little need to introduce Jacob Rumbiak, but for the record, he's the Foreign Affairs Minister of the West Papua ULMWP Government, which is the peak resistance and nation-making organisation. He's been interviewed by the Reverend Dr. Robert Stringer about the challenges for West Papua posed by the new Indonesian President, Prabowo Subianto. Thank you.
Jacob, happy Sunday. Good to be here. Yeah. And that's how the West Papuans greet each other on this day. Happy Sunday. There's a West Papuan community that meets the church quite a few times. And I generally try to get there after by church every Sunday. And there's quite a few here that have been to church, which is run by a pastor called Rumbiak, who is your nephew, Jacob's nephew. And Jacob, how's your father? Because he's been seriously ill. He's very young. How old is he?
93 years old.
93 years old.
And
on the village of Imbuwa. I've been to Imbuwa. Yeah. How is your father?
He's 2 weeks ago. He's been sick, but he said that the time has already arrived. So he talked to his children and grandchildren. Could you cut this wood because you grow this? We have all the whole forest, but one tree, around 57 years old. He said, cut this to make my canoe because I want to pedal it to. In Biak said South Korea. That means I want to pedal it to going to the heaven. And they already prepared all, and then they took him to the hospital in Manokwari. But they said, no, he's not sick. And then he said, why you took me here? Because I'm not sick. I only wait. My master called me back. And now they took him back. So that's a short story about him. So he's so ready for that now.
Thanks, Jacob, because I was getting concerned we might have to be lighting a candle for him. So we hang on to for a while. Now, Jacob, there's been quite a few developments in the movement of the United Federation movement for West Papua and the Federal Republic. So, in order to help you, now I must ask first, how many of you are here for the first time? Quite a few of you. Good. Glad to see you. And have you been up to the office? You know what the office is all about? It's Jacob's office. It's also the women's office. So it's a centre. There's been some significant developments in West Papua over the last 6 months, and there's been a split in the United Liberation Movement. Can you tell us what happened in Vanuatu at the meeting of the Melanesian Spearhead Group in August last year?
Yes, thank you, Robert. Before I start clarifying this issue, firstly, I also want to thank all REN Collective, because this office is under all of REN Collective and all in this office. And also this office is always Papuan office, and of course those for protect the world, justice, peace, and place for all the people around the world. That's also the office up here. So thank you for all the contribute for this office. Number second is all movement around the world, always pro and contra there. There's history of independent of a country now, more than 200 countries now. That story is the same, pro and contra. So we look at the pro contra is not about we against each other, but that's about method to how bring independence. So sometimes I grow up as an academic, as a scientist. We always said that I also grew up in the church. My father is a priest. My mom also still rich. So I learned from King Solomon. He said, when you want to become leader, you only need two: wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom is a direction. You must believe that's direction is the right one. And then you must have knowledge to use it to get what you want to go. And I always said that education is very important. We must study so that we know exactly, we call basic of the rights. So to answer this question, I always said that as academic in university, we must have lots of basic, but we only have. One is a legality right. When someone wants to become, surgery, brains and bone and heart, same surgery, but specialist difference. When someone wants to become good farm, they must educate very well. Same, when someone not independent, they must understand. You must become architect of independence. Because we West Papua want independent, we must fulfill requirement of established state. You must have, there's an international law we call Montevideo, 1933, mentioned that when each nation wants independent, you must fulfill, convention. You must have region, you have people, you have government, and you must have relationship with international country, member of UN, and you must have sponsor country. That's why when another group, they want to take over power based on, we call, we call rotation, because we have three main political in this national body. So they still look, the position is a rotation. 4 years, this one group. After 4 years, this one group. I said wrong. Because we want independence, we must fulfill requirement of established state. So they want to, our body is must NGOs. They don't want to become government. I said, you want independent, the choice. When you want to become surgery, brains, no choice. Legality says you must specialist in here. When West Papua want independent specialist, this one, and we are expert, we are educated, we are teaching in university, and all methods around the world. And this legality, you haven't have another choice. Number second, morality. So that's why in this group, now we call transition government, we have think tank also. So said we must fulfill requirements. So one basic principle. Second is about morality. Morality is something our brains must same with what we talk in our mouth, and action must same. In this instrument of independent of West Papua want independent in our brains. People also want independent. Talking independent, you must exercise from here and more same. That means you must fulfill requirement established state. No choice. And number 10 is sociology. Majority Papuan want independent. All group pro and contra also want independent. So now we work for who's? For people. That's why we still stand on our idea, and we can prove. The time will go, but praise Lord, after the coup in Vanuatu, and then we have one priest, because we have we call West Papua Council of Churches, one representative from this church also there, and when they went back, we have a representative in 7 states. They call for first Congress, And on 20 to 23 of last month, we have a first Congress, they cancel that's leadership just set up in Vanuatu. In the Congress, they elect, they reaffirm that's Mr. Wenda as a president of the Indonesian government and Mr. Waromi, prime minister. So we have a system of our state is a parliamentary system. So president is the head of state, prime minister is the head of government. So now big question, Jakarta said, oh, you want independent, but president now in the UK. He said, when you fulfill independent, the head of government is a prime minister in parliament system. When presidential system, that means president must inside. So I think the basic requirement of established state will be fulfilled. So we hope that we only need to educate our people to understand when you want to get independence, only this way, choice.
And okay, Jacob, so that's been amended. That split has been made. So the other topic was, what do you think, what difference is going to happen now that Prabowo is the president?
Yes, thank you. I think General Prabowo, his name is very famous in America, Europe, and around the world because he is involved in crime against humanity, not only in Timor or Papua, but also Indonesia. And now, lots of questions asked, what you think about him? That's based on what my research, because I also work for government in Indonesia. I said he's a good military command. Why? He follow order from his boss. Who's his boss? Executive and legislative. So he's not mastermind. He's only doing what his boss decide. So when the world want to against him, I said wrong. Take Suharto and they call Minister of Political and Security Affairs and Parliament, Chairman of Parliament, this era. Bring them to the court, not him. He's the best military commander. Why? Because he's follow order. That's in education, he said that's the best one. So now what I looked about him, what second is he's also recognized he did wrong. I mean, never hear general in Indonesia recognize they did wrong. He's brave, said he did wrong, so he want to change. And then also I copy his speech last month. He said, when I will take my position as a full president, I want to open the space, talk with Papuan, but I don't want bloodshed, but I want to, what West Papua you want to talk, you talk. So now, the way we must going, international must stand behind West Papua because Indonesia and West Papua were victim of global policy, not Indonesia. So when someone asked me, you will take Indonesia to court, I said, no, first is UN. And after UN guilty, number second, we can take Indonesia for crime against humanity. Because what? The door opened by the UN. So now we want to solving the problem. International is behind us to negotiate with Prabowo and stuff. And this the right way, a noble way. So we can't against each other, but we stand as a peacemaking. I always meet with our foreign minister of Palestinian 2018 Bangkok. So I said, you are not brave. I said, why? It's in forum. And then one professor, his name Eve from Jordan University. He's also, I think, she's a Palestinian, but she worked, I think, Minister of Education. So every time they ask, what do you think about us? I said that I think the struggle is already good. But I look in your government, you now put your political parties in balance. Internationally support you, but yourself, you're not solving your problem inside, and you're against those. So you ask Papua, we're not against Indonesia. We will ask those outside involved and make Papuan suffering. Indonesia also victim of global policy. So I talked to friends from Palestine. I said, when you want to talk about Israel, talk with England and France. They are one Balfour Declaration, they involve us. So the world now all against Israel, but I said, you must pull out Khartoum Declaration first. That's my advice. So they asked West Papua ULMWP, I said, Indonesia not already. That's a global policy. So I hope that this information so that we must tell in the right way and not against other people, but we must involve as a peacemaking, not peacekeeper. Peacekeeper now, it's zero, but peacemaking start from ourselves. So that's why today we stand, and we already have a team to push Jakarta, but we also need international support because 4 actors can bring independence for each nation. One is you must prepare your own people, local people, to understand what you struggle for. Second, you must close with the state or country government against us. Like we work with Indonesian students, Indonesian people, they very help us. Number 3, work with international efforts. Number 4, as a believer, we believe that one supernatural or God we call Muslim said Allah, Jews Elohim, Christian said Jesus. We must have someone highest we call for her. And then we try to not have against, but we must bring peace. When I want to talk to Bapa, let us not have bitter heart. When you have this one, peace never arrives. But when you start to love him and pray and bless him, and Holy Spirit going to his heart. Like Indonesia, before lots of people say maybe close, can't talk him. Now little bit talk. So I think that's our strategy and our method. We want to get independent, not for against Indonesia, but we stand so that one time we become blessed to Indonesia and also blessed to the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. And I think it's a real credit the way that you described that, the gentleness in which you have spoken about what happened, and just the openness. And we hope that it really does bear fruit. Because when I first met West Papuans and heard their aspirations, I always thought that on a politician it seems impossible. But with God on your side and with a belief in the way of reconciliation and that, then anything is possible. I mean, East Timor is one of those that's shown the way and a situation can change. Now, the report from the Congress, which is important, is available on YouTube. Is there a link to that on our website, Louise? The YouTube.
That's tomorrow's job.
That's tomorrow's job. Yeah, there is a YouTube report on the Congress and what happened, and that will be available on the website, and that's worth watching if you want a summary from those who were at the conference. So thank you, Jacob, and I hope that's helped people to understand that there has been a lot happening, but there's a gentleness here which you've shown me again.
Thank you.
We want every blessing for the ULMWP as they struggle for what. Thank you.